Welcome to your practice. We're going to start standing in the middle of your mat. So bring your hands to the very tops of the pelvis. You're going to bend the knees, don't move the thighs, and bring the tops of the pelvis forward and down. You're going to feel like there's an increased arch in your lower back. And then as you exhale, bring the tops of the pelvis back and down. You're going to squeeze the glutes a little bit. Do a few rounds of this. And we're starting like this, standing, to warm up the hips, warm up the tops of the thighs, and to unload the lower back. Oftentimes when we walk, when we sit, we think the legs and the pelvis, they work as one thing, but they don't. So the pelvis can move independently from the thighs. So do a few more rounds like this, going back and forth. Top of the pelvis moving forward and down is an anterior tilt. Top of the pelvis moving back and down is a posterior tilt. One more going to the front, and one more going back. Another thing I love to do at home to unload the lower back is bring your feet a little bit wider than hip width, bend the knees, do your anterior tilt of the pelvis, and allow the whole of the spine to hang down. You can grab a hold of opposite elbows, and instead of reaching the forearms straight down towards the floor, allow the head and the neck to soften. Go a little bit side to side, getting into the muscles that run alongside the spine. Hang one more to the left and one more to the right. Nice. Coming to hands and knees on your sticky mat. Have the shoulders right above the wrists and the hips right above the knees. You can tuck your toes if you want. And you're going to do cat-cow only with your pelvis. So the femurs are going to stay stable, the whole of the spine is going to stay stable, and you're just going to move the pelvis. Same thing with it standing. So as you inhale, sitting bones up and apart. Yes, the lower back is going to move a little bit. And as you exhale, lengthen the flesh of the buttocks down towards the floor, lower belly tones, hug the belly in. Inhale, sitting bones up and apart. This is an anterior tilt of the pelvis, deeper arch in your lower back. As you exhale, lengthen the flesh of the buttocks down, curling it in. A couple more rounds like this. Resist the tendency to move the whole spine into cat-cow. We tend to do that. See if you can get just that movement of the pelvis curling in and opening up. One more time, inhale, sitting bones open apart. And exhale, curl them down. Now go ahead and do your cat-cows. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, curl it down. And the main benefit of this pose is to really get the whole spine moving, mobilized. Every time that you curl, you press the hands down, you hug the ribs in. 2 more rounds. Inhale, look up. Continue to press the hands down. Exhale, curl it down, soften the neck. One more. Inhale, go up. And as you exhale, curl it down. Inhale back to center. From lower back to spine to shoulder blades. You're going to make circles with the shoulder blades. So allow the trunk to melt down towards the floor. Have the blades go around the ribs, making a circle. It might take you a moment to find this movement, but you can do it. So just allow the trunk to melt down to the floor. Try to keep the elbows straight and have a sense that you are moving the shoulder blades along the ribs. Couple more rounds. Allow the chest to move to the floor, moving those blades over the ribs and all the way to center. Grab your blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, grab a bunch of books. Have them about this height. If you have the blocks, you have the blocks on the second height together. It's one of my favorite stretches for the upper back. Bring your elbows to the blocks, fold the palms, and walk the feet back again until also the knees are just under the hips. Fold the palms, press them vigorously against each other. Take a breath. And as you exhale, allow the whole of the trunk to melt down. So the ears are going to be somewhat aligned with the upper arms. Continue to press the forearms down, the hands against each other. And from the very tops of the thighs, move the tops of the thighs back. You're lengthening the whole of the spine, opening up the shoulders. One more breath here. And slowly walk the knees forward towards the blocks. Good. Move the blocks to the sides. Place the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. Let's do a down dog, all the way up. This is your first down dog. You can go ahead and bend the knees as much as you need to. And go ahead, bend both of your knees. Spin the sitting bones up and apart. Do an anterior tilt of the pelvis. Keep that. And slowly try to straighten the knees. You're going to sense that the knees are not going to straighten all the way. That's okay. Inhale, plank pose, top of a push-up. As you exhale, up and back into a downward dog. One more time, bend the knees. Find your anterior tilt of the pelvis. Keep that. Keep pressing the hands down. Bring your chest to your thighs. Long, long spine. Inhale, plank pose, top of a push-up. And exhale back into a down dog. Next. Now inhale, plank. Exhale, knees to the floor. Hug the belly, hug the ribs, and slowly all the way down. Blocks to the side. Forearms to the floor into Sphinx Pose. Have the shoulders right above the elbows. This is how we're going to start. Tuck your toes and bump yourself a little bit forward. Keep pressing the forearms down, the tops of the feet down. And from the heart, reach the heart forward. Press the hands down and draw the hands back to the back of your sticky mat. So we're creating some traction here. Heart forward, forward, forward. Allow the chest to shine through the arms. One more breath. And as you exhale, tuck the toes. Bump yourself back. Palms touch again. Whenever you press the palms against each other and press the pinkies down, that creates more stability in your shoulder where the head of the arm bone meets your shoulder. So always do that. Press the forearms down, press the hands towards each other. Tuck the toes, take a breath. And as you exhale, keep the knees down. Belly up, hips up. Press the forearms down, stay here. Another big part of having a healthy spine is knowing how to engage core. So now we're going to do a few things to strengthen the front, strengthen the back body, and this is one of them. Modified forearm plank. You start with the knees down. If you feel you're very proficient in this pose, you're going to do this pose with both legs straight, full forearm plank. When notice the tendency that people have here is to drop the head. So always look forward to the hands. Keep pressing the forearms down, reaching the heels back. Notice if your butt is all the way up. Notice if your butt is going down. Have your hips aligned with the shoulders and with the heels. One more breath. And as you exhale, knees down, thighs down. One hand on top of the other and rest for a moment. Take a big breath into the sides of the ribs. Exhale through the mouth. One more breath into your ribs. And exhale through the mouth. From Sphinx into Locust Pose, another great pose to lengthen the posterior part of the body. Palms alongside the body, arms alongside the body, palms face down, point to toes, tops of the feet on the floor. Start with the forehead on the floor. Press the tops of the feet down. Pubic bone down, belly up. This is what's going to keep your lower back from hurting. So hug the belly up. Look forward of your sticky mat. Keep pressing the feet down, arms up, heart up, and stay here. This is Locust Pose with the tops of the feet on the floor. When the tops of the feet press down, they wake up all the muscles that run along your spine and they're stabilized. Now bring awareness to your thumbs. Spin the thumbs up towards the ceiling. So you're shining the palms out to the sides. Strong external rotation of those arms. One more breath. And as you exhale, all the way down. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Hands and knees. And your downward dog. In this dog, again, bend the knees as much as you need to. Spin the sitting bones up and apart. That's your anterior tilt of the pelvis. when the hip points are moving towards the thighs. Inhale, plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, your knees to the floor. Bend the elbows, come all the way down. Nice. One more time, same sequence. Start in your Sphinx. Palms down, tuck the toes, bump yourself forward a tiny bit. Keep pressing the forearms down, heart forward, forward, forward. Pause. If this is going into your lower back, hug your belly in more. One more breath. And tuck your toes, bump yourself back. Let's do our forearm plank. Palms together, pinkies pressing down against the floor, press the forearms down. Tuck the toes. Again, same start, hug the belly, hug the ribs. Keep the knees down if you need to, totally fine. If you have it in you, straighten one leg and then the other as you do your forearm plank. I confess I don't like this pose, but we have to do it. So, one more big breath into the ribs, reaching the heels back. As you get proficient in this, increase the amount of time you spend in the pose. And knees to the floor, all the way down. Straight into Locust Pose. Reach the arms alongside the body, palms down. Tops of the feet down, pubic bone down, belly up, and lift the arms. This is not a range of motion pose, so it's okay to be lower. Flip the thumbs up towards the ceiling, open up. Notice if your glutes want to do all of the work. Can you soften the glutes a little bit and have the muscles along the spine do the work? One more breath. As you exhale, release down, hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, hands and knees, in a down dog. Last time as you bend the knees, sitting bones up and apart. Keep bringing the hip points towards the thighs. Press the hands down, press the hands down, and bring your chest to the thighs. Inhale, plank. Knees to the floor. And let's continue the sequence, seated. So grab a blanket, any blanket, and sit on it. Cross the shins. Let's start with this one. Let's start with a nice side bend. It's one of my favorite side bends. I teach it almost every class. We're all doing the same side, so bring the right forearm to the floor. Your opposite hip, which is your left hip, might come off the floor. That's okay. Reach the arm all the way up. As you exhale, flip that palm. Reach the arm overhead. So feel the nice opening on the left side of the waist. For a moment, you can allow the neck to dangle. Big breath into the left side of the waist and into that hip that is elevated. And next time that you exhale, allow that hip to drop down. So we're not forcing, just releasing. We're using gravity to open our bodies. Inhale that arm up. Bend that elbow and cup the base of your head. Lean the head back. Keep reaching that elbow up and to the side. Side bends are great. We hardly ever side bend. So it's nice to take a moment here. They have a very different energy. And you're going to sense the side bend as you come out of it. Inhale, the arm goes up. As you exhale, hands to the sides. Close the eyes, feel the side bend. Switch legs, your other shin in front. Inhale first, get really long. As you exhale, left forearm to the floor. Other arm goes up, let that hip come with you. Flip the palm, do the side bend. Notice, do you feel this more on the top ribs, lower ribs, side body? Drop the head. Big breath into that top hip. And allow with the exhale that hip to drop down towards the floor. Bend the top elbow, cup the base of your head. Lean the head back. All the way from the right hip, right side of the waist, right elbow, everything is lengthening. One more breath. On an inhale, arm goes up. Close the eyes, feel the side bend on this side. Good. Interlace the fingers in front of you, arms forward and all the way up. For a moment, let the shoulders go up towards the ears. That's what they do when the arms are overhead. The shoulders go up towards the ears. Can you keep the arms nice and high, but just soften the sides of the neck. Tiny side bend to your right. Inhale up. Side bend to your left. Inhale up and release. Interlace the fingers in front of you again. This time, heels of the hands together. Shoot the arms straight forward, inhale. As you exhale, curl the back of the heart back as you reach the arms forward. When you have the heels of the hands together, it's slightly different than having the heels apart on the first variation. So can you gain traction by reaching the arms forward? The blades are moving away from your spine. One more breath. And as you exhale, interlace the fingers behind you. This time keep the elbows bent and squeeze them in. Squeeze them in, open the front, lift the chest. The higher the fingertips are in your spine, the more you're going to feel this in the front of your shoulders. Big breath here. And one more time, we're going to curl in. This time, grab a hold of opposite elbows. Slightly different way of doing the same thing. And reach the forearms forward, curl back again. Back of the heart moves back. And now because you have those hands have something to press against, reach the right forearm to the right and left forearm to the left, keeping the hands on the elbows. Different way of creating traction, moving the blades away from the spine. We're getting into the rhomboid muscles, they live in between your shoulder blades. One more big breath. And you release, interlace the fingers behind you. This time, heels of the hands together and straight down towards the floor as you lift. For a moment, let the front open as much as it wants. And now can you keep the heart going up? Sense of the lower belly drawing in, lowest ribs drawing in. Big inhale. And exhale, release. Change the cross of the legs again. We're going to do one of my favorite twists. So left hand is going to be in front of you in this hole in between your legs. And your right hand, spider fingers, behind you. This is called a segmental twist. Your hips are going to stay on the floor because your lower back does not rotate that much. We're going to try to rotate really from your thoracic spine, the upper part of your spine. Press the fingertips down, lengthen up on an inhale. Exhale fully first. Stay looking forward towards the video. Hug the belly, hug the ribs, and twist your heart, only your heart to the right. So the right shoulder is going to try to go back behind you, left shoulder forward, but you're still looking forward. Inhale again. Exhale fully first. Hug the belly, hug the ribs. One more time, can you bring the twist more towards the right? One more breath. Exhale. And once you feel like, okay, this is how far I can twist today, you continue to twist with your neck. The neck rotates a lot. It likes to rotate. It likes to twist as you look over your right shoulder. But again, no cranking, no forcing. Recommit with the fingertips pressing down. Always before you side bend, you forward fold, you back bend, we extend. We find some axial extension in your spine. This action of going up. Close your eyes and ever so slightly lean the head back. Sense in your spine what's going on. Where is it that you feel the twist? For most of us, it's right where the bra line is in the lady, so right in the middle of your back. And twists, just like the side bends, they have a very different energy to it. And see if you can still feel the twist as you come out of it. So when you inhale, come back to center, keep the eyes closed, hands to knees. Feel the residue, the benefit of the twist. Nice. And switch. Your other leg goes on front. Doesn't matter which one. Now your right fingertips in front of you, left fingertips behind. Inhale in. As you exhale, abdomen, ribs draw in. Keep that. Stay looking forward the whole time. Just twist your heart to the left. If you're a beginner, this is going to be a very short, small twist. That's okay. We have to start somewhere. One more breath. Long exhale first. And twist the heart to the left. Last breath here. Heart to the left as you exhale. Then continue slowly. That chin is parallel with the floor. You're looking back over your left shoulder. Recommit with those fingertips pressing down. And close the eyes again. So feel like you're going about 80%. We're not cranking this twist either. Just holding a pose, affecting the tissues around the spine. And one more time, sense in the spine, where is it that you feel the most? And on an inhale, come back to center. Keep the eyes closed, hands to knees. And open the eyes. Remember, always when you sit, when you go to work, at home, in your yoga mat, we want to sit with a slight anterior tilt of the pelvis, and this is why we sit on a blanket, we sit on a bolster. So last time, bring the hands to the tops of the pelvis, bring the pelvis forward and down. You are going to feel that there's an increased arch in your lower back. Exaggerate that for a moment. That is going to feel like it's too much. It's because it is. Bring the tops of the pelvis back and down. This is a posterior tilt of the pelvis. See if you can find middle ground, but lean towards more of an anterior tilt. Good. Tripod arms to your sides. Press the fingertips down. Stay here for a moment. Sensing the benefits from opening up your lower back, twisting, opening up your thoracic spine. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Namaste.